What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go through my top 5 captaincy picks in FPL. What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Happy FPL week everyone. So you're probably a bit surprised, this is an earlier video for me. So from now until the start of the season, there'll be 2 videos for you every single day until the FPL deadline on Friday, as well as a couple of live streams as well. So I hope you're enjoying it. We're getting right into the crunch time of us making the final decisions. Now, one of the biggest decisions that we can make for our Game Week 1 team is choosing our captain. So I'm going to talk you through my top 5 captaincy picks for Game Week 1, why I think they're a good option and whether you should be going for anyone else or whether you should be sticking for maybe even just the number 1 pick in this list. So if we dive into them, we're going to rank them all in order as well. So it's not just going to be a vague list, it'll be ranking them. So number 5, we have Jamie Vardy, who has a fixture at home to Wolves. So now I'll start off by saying I think the fact that fixtures are at home will have more of an impact this season than they did last season. Now, this is because there will be fans back in the stadium. They'll be having not watched football in the Premier League match for a long time. A few of them got in at the end of last season, but a lot of them won't have seen a match in a year and a half. So I think the home versus away factor will be a big thing, particularly at the start of the season. Now, Jamie Vardy is probably the only nailed striker in that Leicester attack. There is now Iheanacho, Daka, Barnes, Perez all fighting for just a couple of positions, whereas Jamie Vardy is probably the only one that I'm assured that will start each and every game week. So that's why I've gone with him out of all the other Leicester attackers. If you think some of the others will start, then they are options as well. But Jamie Vardy will be on penalties for Leicester, so straight away he has another route to points, which I really like. The most nailed option, as I said, and Wolves seem to be slightly more attacking. Although they could still be playing a back 5, the new manager does want to attack a little bit more than we saw under Nuno, so that will allow Jamie Vardy potentially a bit more room in behind, which he loves. It's a home fixture, as I said. Jamie Vardy will be loving to be back in front of all those fans. It will give him that extra bit of motivation. They just won that cup over the past couple of weeks against Manchester City and the FA Cup at the end of last season. So there is a lot of motivation for that Leicester side to really show the fans what they've been missing now that they're back with the Premier League starting again. So Jamie Vardy is number 5 on my list. Next up on my list, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool, who is away to Norwich in Game Week 1. So Liverpool, of course, this is probably the standout fixture that we're going to be looking at for Game Week 1. And number 4, we have Trent. Now, we don't often look to be captaining an offender in FPL, but we always know that they have a good potential for return, so it is worth considering. There is a good chance for a clean sheet. Although Norwich are at home, I still think Liverpool's defence will be really strong. There is other options in that defence. For example, the 4.0 defender in Tsimikas could now be a good option, but Trent is the one that I'd be looking to captain out of the 2 of them. There's that clean sheet option, but he is also a bonus point magnet. So he gets attacking returns, he can get his goals and assists, but even if he doesn't, if they keep a clean sheet, because the amount of passes he makes, because of the amount of crosses he takes and corners and things like that, he's so good at collecting bonus points. So even just a clean sheet can very quickly turn into maybe a 7, 8 or 9 pointer with those bonus points as well. He got 10 attacking returns last season, which just shows we know that he's very capable of getting those attacking returns on top of the clean sheets that we know that Liverpool defence can keep. It's a great fixture for them in the opening week at away to Norwich, so it would be better if it was at home, but I still think Trent has a lot of potential as a bit of a differential as captain in Game Week 1. Moving on to the top 3 now. Number 3, we have Kai Havertz of Chelsea. Now, there is a little bit of talk about whether Romelu Lukaku will be signing, and it feels all but confirmed at the moment. However, I don't necessarily think he'll be ready to start Game Week 1, and Kai Havertz will therefore be playing through the middle as a striker, even though he's classified as a midfielder in FPL. With that, him playing as a striker, it makes him more attacking, yet he still gets those 5 points for the goal, as well as an extra 1 point for a clean sheet, which you would have to assume is very likely for Chelsea in Game Week 1. It's a home fixture which we really like, so Chelsea fans will be back cheering the side on, and with Havertz having scored that winning goal in the Champions League final, the fans will be fully behind him, I think, in Game Week 1. And Palace, I don't think they're that much this season. I worry about them. The new managers come in, they're a bit more attacking, so they've got a bit less of a focus potentially on the defensive form, and I think Chelsea could easily put 3 or 4 goals past Crystal Palace in Game Week 1. And if Havertz is playing up front, he's definitely the main goal threat. I could see him easily getting 1 or 2 attacking returns in this fixture, with them being 5 points per goal, with the extra point for a clean sheet and bonus. I think Havertz could be on for a really nice haul for Game Week 1. So if you are starting with him, he could be a really nice captain option given the fixture that Chelsea do have. just before we dive into the top 2 that we've got here, make sure you are joining the league below. It's a monthly prize giveaway, so you don't have to pay to enter. It's just a prize that I give out every month for the best performing people, but it is of course for subscribers only. Next up on the list, number 2, we have Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United. Now, there was a home fixture for Manchester United against Leeds. Now, of course, I've already spoken that I think a home fixture will give them a little bit of an edge, but it's not necessarily everything to go on, as I spoke with Trent, who also has a really nice fixture. Now, Leeds were good defensively last season, which is maybe why Fernandes isn't ranked first. However, it is an away fixture for Leeds, and they were much better at home than they were away in the second half of last season. So I still think there is joy for Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United in Game Week 1, and I expect this to be a Manchester United win, even with the form that Leeds did show at points of last season. Of course, Fernandes was the highest scoring FPL player last year with 32 attacking returns of either goals or assists, which is just a crazy return, almost a return every single game for him. And a lot of this came from set pieces, so either corners, free kicks, penalties as well, but also the open play assists and goals that he can get. So he's got so many routes to points, which makes him just such a reliable asset that we've all seen and loved from him over the past couple of seasons. Leeds have also, although they were quite good last season away at home, they've not been that great away from home, and they've been pretty poor in pre-season so far. So there is a little bit of doubt about how quickly they'll get back to the form they've shown, and I'm sure Manchester United, given that they've performed very well in pre-season, just gives them that little bit more of an edge than we've seen. So I really think this is a good fixture for United. Other options like Greenwood, Luke Shaw are good to own in your team, but if I was choosing one of them to put the captaincy armband on for Game Week 1, it would of course be Bruno Fernandes. So he's so reliable. He's not number 1 and he's not the captain in my team, but he is definitely my vice captain. Number 1 on the list, how could it be anyone else than Mo Salah? He will be the most highly captained player in Game Week 1, and for very good reason. I do think Bruno Fernandes will come close, and he is a good alternative, especially given that home fixture in front of Old Trafford fans. But for me, Salah does take the boat with Game Week 1 being away at Norwich. He got 28 attacking returns last season, which isn't quite as many as Bruno, but a few more goals compared to Bruno, who got a few more assists, meant he came up very close to being the top point scorer in FPL. He's on penalties as well, like Bruno Fernandes. It gives him an extra route to points. Salah did very well in Game Week 1 last season, scoring a hat-trick, and actually was the highest scoring player in Game Week 1, and it was Salah's biggest haul. And if he could just replicate that for Game Week 1 this season, then it would be a really good way to start the season. I think Norwich will come out and attack. They may not have the best defence as we've seen previously from seasons with Norwich, so I do think there'll be chances for Salah to get some goals. Pre-season has actually been the Jota and Mane show, with Firmino getting some goals as well, but I expect as soon as the season starts, Salah will have his eye on the Premier League trophy, the Golden Boot as well, and he'll use Norwich as a platform to get off to a really good start. So Salah, I can't look past him. He's my captain for Game Week 1, and I think he should be your captain as well. So those are my top 5 captains. Let me know in the comments down below who you will be picking for Game Week 1. If you have enjoyed, as always, 2 videos every single day before the season starts. So do like and of course subscribe by turning on notifications to get all this useful info to help you get the best rank possible you can this season. So I hope you have enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I will see you all again very soon.